The moonlight slants through the tall stained-glass windows of the mirror hall, casting fractured patterns of violet and silver across the obsidian floor. Flames flicker low in the hearth, their resonance-fed light dancing like spirits along the polished walls. Every inch of the room is a reflection. Walls of enchanted glass, mirror-paneled columns, a floor slick as black water. This is where Cadia's nobility come to be reminded of their power, of their beauty, of their birthright. But tonight, Prince Callahan Calethorn does not admire his reflection. He stands alone at the heart of the mirror hall, draped in a silver-collared tunic that shimmers faintly with stored magic. His hands are bare, ink-stained from the letters he ripped open barely an hour ago. Anonymous warnings, court gossip, accusations wrapped in civility. The prince failed to complete the Crystal Veil trial. He faltered at the second casting. His flame flickered. A Mark VIs, or something less? He curls one hand into a fist, then loosens it again, staring at his palm. He lifts it toward the air. With practiced calm, he calls to the veil. A thin ribbon of flame blooms in his hand, steady at first, then sputtering. The color is wrong. It should burn emerald and gold, the mark of the Calethorn line. Tonight, it is pale. Again, he whispers, jaw tight. He casts the same spell. This time the flame sparks, then gutters out entirely, leaving behind a whisper of cold smoke. From behind him, the echo of footsteps, soft but not stealthy. Lady Isolde Varel, his cousin, his shadow, his closest confidant since childhood, steps into view. Her violet cloak whispers against the floor. "You've been here for hours," she says gently. "The servants say you skipped supper. Again." "I wasn't hungry. You weren't hungry yesterday either." He doesn't look at her. "They're saying it, aren't they? At court." She hesitates, just a beat too long. "Yes." He swallows the bitter taste in his throat. "What exactly?" "That your thread is faltering, that you're no longer a true Mark VI, that you've dropped." He turns sharply. "That's impossible. Threads don't just fall. They don't break without cause." "No," she says, "but they do fray, under pressure, under fear." "I am not afraid." "Callahan," she murmurs. He stares at his hand again, then walks slowly to the center of the mirror hall, where a crystal orb rests atop a silver pedestal. The thread reader. It pulses faintly, alive with veil light. "I should test again." Isolde flinches. "The results would be made public." "All the better. I'll prove them wrong. Or confirm everything," she says softly. Silence stretches. Callahan breathes deeply. "If I am fraying, if my thread is weakening, if I'm not who I was born to be, then what am I?" Isolde takes a step closer. Still the heir of Cadia. Still the boy who pulled a veil storm apart with his bare hands. Still the man they fear. "But only because of power," he says bitterly. "Without it, I'm nothing. We're all nothing." She doesn't disagree. He turns back to the pedestal. His hand hovers over the orb, trembling. Just one touch, just one confirmation. Rise or fall. And in the mirror to his right, 1,000 reflections hold their breath. The air around the threadreader orb grows heavier as Callahan lowers his hand. Isolde doesn't speak. She knows better. The threadreader is an ancient device, sensitive to distraction, reverent in tradition. It is said that it doesn't just measure one's resonant strength. It listens, judges, weighs the truth the caster refuses to admit. Callahan's fingers hover, trembling. Then, contact. The orb flares to life, pulsing with white-blue light. Veins of color swirl within it, threads of radiant fire twining upward like strands of soul. A low hum fills the mirror hall. Callahan closes his eyes, feeling it reach into him, deeper than any spell, deeper than blood. For a heartbeat, the entire hall seems to fall away, and he feels exposed, naked. Every secret, every flicker of self-doubt, peeled open like the skin of fruit. And then, color blooms. But not the brilliant green and gold of House Calethorn. Not the fire he showed as a boy, the proof of his place. Instead, the orb glows a muted copper red, ringed faintly with flickering grey. Isolde inhales sharply. Her hand covers her mouth. No. The orb pulses once, and then it speaks. In a cold, perfect voice echoing through the mirrored chamber. Resonant thread, measured at Mark V. Fracture detected. Integrity compromised. Decline confirmed. The hum vanishes. The orb dims. Callahan staggers back as though struck. Mark V. Not a peasant. Not a disgrace. But less than his legacy. Less than his mother. Less than what he must be to claim the throne. Impossible, he whispers. There must be an error. A misread. This device hasn't been recalibrated since... He cuts himself off, eyes burning. His reflection stares back at him from 1,000 mirrored surfaces, not regal, not triumphant, but afraid. Isolde steps forward, her voice low. Callahan. The fray wasn't just a rumor. You've been casting beyond your limit for months, maybe years. He doesn't look at her. If this gets out, it already has. The hall listens. The orb records. The Crimson Regency will know by morning. Callahan sinks to one knee, not out of exhaustion, but strategy. Calculation begins to replace panic in his eyes. Then I need to act before they do. She stiffens. What do you mean? I may not be Mark VIs anymore, but they don't need to know the full truth. Not yet. Not until I've secured what I need. Isolde's eyes narrow. What are you planning? He rises slowly. The prince again. Even wounded, he wears ambition like armor. I will find a threadbreaker, he says, and I will steal back what was taken from me. But that's treason, she whispers. If the church finds out, they'll burn me either way. The only question is whether I let it happen, or burn first. The mirrored flames flicker brighter as he walks from the orb. Behind him, the reflection of the copper-red thread still pulses faintly, flickering, fading. Thank you for listening to this little project of mine. To hear more stories about the Kingdom of Cadia, Prince Callahan and other characters to come, leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel.